on.
Hi, welcome to Wendy's World of Health and Nutrition, and today's lesson is all about growing microgreens and sunflower seed sprouts. Sprouts are some of the highest nutritional food that you can put into your body. They're very expensive in the store, and they are so easy to grow and relatively inexpensive in comparison to buying them, well, like most things. So I just want to show you how easy it is. I get my seeds, my sunflower seeds, they are raw and they are organic, meaning no sprays have ever been used on them. And I get them from the Mountain Valley Seed Company. You can just go online and order these. I get them in a 5-pound bag. You can get them in a 1-pound bag if you just want to start them and to try them. But I always get this 5-pound bag. My biggest beef is that it shrivels at the end. The ends unravel. But all I do is you can do any mason jar, and you don't have to have the top on this jar has holes in it. It's plastic, so it can be thrown in the dishwasher. So I soak 1.5 cups. I just take 1.5 cups of my seeds, like this, 1.5, and I put them in the jar, fill it all the way up with water for 2 days. 48 hours, I soak my seeds. Now, I have grown these my entire life. Literally, I was raised at a health resort where I had to grow these seeds for about, say 100 to 130 people a day. So I learned how to do these in the jars. However, salmonella can develop. So to soak your seeds, I never did this, but I have learned this ever since, really helps that shell to soften so it comes and drops off of the sunflower seed easily. So we soak these for 48 hours and then we dump the water off. Now, like I said, you can just put your hand over it. You can throw them in a colander to get all this water off, but you just drain all the water off. And these trays that you're seeing on the counter, these can be purchased at any garden store or even online through Amazon. They're your basic trays. They're about 12 inches by 24. It's a real simple, basic growing tray. Mine do not have holes in the bottom. I don't overwater these most of the time. I do a pretty good job. I have a special little watering can that I use, so I don't need holes in these. And plus, they make a mess too, because then you have to have another tray to catch it all. So this is the tray for the sunflower seeds that I'm going to grow. These are my microgreens. This is broccoli microgreens. These are wonderful. They taste amazing, and it really is just a baby little broccoli growing there. But like, I just had these on top of my egg salad sandwich along with some of my sunflower sprouts that I had already cut. You can throw them on salads, on top of anything. They are delicious, crisp, and full of nutrition. So, doesn't matter what seed that you're putting in these trays. All I have is about 1.5 inches of the organic dirt. That means there's no sprays or toxins that I have to worry about my food getting into my food. And then all I do is level this out. And there's a couple ways. I just use my hands because it's the easiest thing. Now, a lot of people think that you've got to put dirt on top of your seeds. You don't. I'm going to show you a really cool trick here. So all I do, I really try not to spend much time doing this. So I'm just spreading them evenly throughout the tray. I get them all out with my hand, and I'm literally showing you every move. Some of these have already started sprouting in the jar. It's really kind of cool to see this. I just dump them all out, and then I'll take and spread them out with my hands. So that's that. I'm going to wash the jar with soap and water for another batch. And I start a new batch about every 4 days. So I'll start sunflowers, and then I'll start a tray of microgreens. So I always have something going to put on, or in a salad, on a sandwich, on top of a meal. Maybe it's just to decorate the plate. I love having my sprouts. And a lot of you may not know why the sprouts are so good for you. So all I'm doing now, Kim, if you want to come in closer, my good friend Kim is helping me with this video. So see, you can see, all I'm doing literally is taking that 1.5 cups of seeds that I put in the jar and soaked for 48 hours. All I'm doing is just spreading them around evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect, folks, okay? They're all going to grow anyway. Sometimes what you'll have is if you get too many on top of each other, it's not a problem. I'll show you how that works. So that's pretty good right there, okay? That is pretty good. So then all I do is I'm going to get my I'm going to show you this great watering can. So just pause it for a second. Okay, so the seeds are evenly distributed over about, it's 1 inch to 1.5 inches of dirt. You don't need a lot of dirt to grow these. That's why it's just so economical. So I'm just going to water these in now. This is a Haws, H-A-W-S watering can. You can get it on Amazon. This is the best watering can ever. It has a consistent, easy sprinkle. This little piece actually removes, so if you have to pour something into a very narrow place, you can do that. I love this for when I'm starting. Once my sprouts are in place and they're growing up, they're really thick in here, I then have to use the sink and to water them so the water will actually go down. But when we're starting, this is how we start. With this is a little bit of water. I don't put any dirt on top of it. Now here's the magic. So this is my old tray that I just harvested. I just cut these from this. I put it on top and I leave it that way for 3 days. Now these are going to sit underneath my grow lights in my laundry room. I have a grow light underneath the cabinet. I'll show you. So I have this underneath the grow light. I just harvested the entire bowl. 1 tray will fill this bowl up. We've already eaten half of it. We ate about half for a salad last night. So what happens was that second round of growth came up. And I will take advantage of these, and in about 2 days I will go through and I will take all of these out. Sometimes there's these little webs will get started down in here in the root system. Don't let that bother you. So I'm actually pushing this down. This is also weighs something, so it weights on the seeds. What happens is, that's why we don't have to put dirt on top, and that's why I don't have to mess with all the dirt and the seeds. They will, the seeds will start to crack open, the roots, the little shoot will start to come out, and we will see this on the video, because I'll stop it and start it again in a couple of days, just so you can see how it's amazing. It's just amazing. You don't have to do anything for 3 days, you just leave it there, and I will take this watering can each day and just put a little layer of water on top so they have something to drink. What they're trying to do now is seek the light, and they're going to start growing rapidly. That's that. So, once they are grown, I do want to show this because it's extremely simple to do. All I do is take my scissors. Oh, as they come up, maybe you can come in close. This is great because I can show you. As they come up, all I do is, if they're not, usually they'll pop off themselves. So I'll take my hand like this, and when I go over the tops, the shells fall off. For those that don't fall off, I can just peel them off with my hands. They just come off. So I can just do this and this. And that's for the stubborn ones, that when I rake my hands, because remember, it's going to be full like this. This tray underneath that I just planted, it's going to be a ton of them. So if I just do this, you'll find that more than half will just fall off. And that's 3 days here in darkness. And then we're looking at another 5 to 7 days under the grow light in my laundry room. By the way, the grow light is called a sun blaster. And I like the 4-foot sun blaster because it's obviously this is 2 feet long. I can put 2 trays under that sun blaster light. It comes with a little mount, and you want to make sure you get the sun blaster, the 4-foot, and you want to get it with a reflector on it. The reflector helps the light to reflect back out, and it gives you more light. I've grown these things forever, and I'm going to tell you, I've never seen anything grow like this with that light. That light is amazing. So once they've grown, all you do is you come in here and you just cut it down the root right there. And what I do is I put water in my sink, just wash them gently, and then I have a colander and I just let them drain, and then I put them in this type of stainless, or if you have a glass bowl, that will work also. I try not to store my stuff in plastic if I don't have to. I don't soak them in plastic, I soak them in glass jars. You can put a piece of netting over here with a rubber band so the water dumps out. there's so many ways. You don't even need a top. You can just put your hand over here in 2 days and then drain all the water out. And you saw how fast I did that. I mean, it was super fast. So after 3 days, I'll take this off and I will let this tray start seeking the light, and you won't believe this. In 3 days, those sprouts will be this tall, and if I let them go 5, here's the trick. You can let them go 5, you can let them go 7 days, but you don't want that second group of leaves to start coming out. I'm trying to find one here. All of these have one group of leaves. If you start to see that second group of leaves coming out of your sprout, you know it's done. Okay, I need to cut these and eat them. Once you cut them, they stop growing, but they're still alive. I mean, they're beautiful and fresh. You've never had a salad like this. And then what I do with the broccoli sprouts is the same thing. I was soaking my broccoli sprouts. You don't need to. They're harder to spread out, is what I've learned. So I just take those, same amount of dirt, same everything, and I just start sprinkling a nice that's a lot of broccoli sprouts because the seeds are really tiny. They're not big like the sunflower seeds. And so I just spread them all out. And if you want to come any closer, I can show you the same procedure. Is all you do is you just grab a bunch, cut down as low as you want, make sure that you don't pick up any of the roots or the dirt because you don't want that. These you don't even have to wash. They've been growing in my laundry room. Now you can just put them underneath a little bit of water if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just cut them and use them, which is one of the reasons I like using them. There's no seeds on these. They are beautiful. It feels like a carpet. It's just beautiful. So now we're gonna, I don't think there's gonna be any questions, only because all you do is cut. Indeed, it's the best food you could possibly put in your body. Keeps you healthy. And I want to put this on pause. So welcome to my laundry room. And this is where I keep the sprouts. So I'm going to put the broccoli sprouts down here. If I had more baskets, I would just put them in here and get them closer to this light, which is installed up underneath the cabinet. Super easy installation. But these 2 trays, remember my new sunflower sprouts are underneath this one. The weight of this one will put the pressure on the seeds to grow. And then I just put those up under here, and voila. Now like all other plants, I have a little timer on, there's these really cheap timers I think you can get for like $10 on Amazon right here. And I plug my light into the timer, and I always have 8 hours off and 16 hours on. That way, I know it's getting, and it's amazing. They just grow like crazy. I never even have to think about it. All I got to do is give it a little bit of water, and that's it. And the reflector gives you can see how the nice space of light comes out. This is where I grow it. I have 2 trays going all the time, and it's usually, I'm going to, this top tray of sunflower seeds that are starting to come back up again, because I already cut one level, and this second level is starting to come up, and I don't want to waste them. But in about 3 days, this will be done. I'll cut those off. I'll take this tray off, and I'll let this tray, the one that we just planted, be exposed to the light. And then I'll plant a new tray of arugula sprouts, because this will be gone. We'll have this eaten completely in 3 days. So then I'll go ahead and I'll put my arugula sprouts in there. So then I'll have a tray of sunflower ready to come up, and then a tray of arugula growing. So I always have this type of sprouts going. If you don't think you're going to eat this many sprouts, I've got another thing for you, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that. You can just go. Okay, so this is my tower garden. I just got back from Houston. I just planted it. As you can see, the little tiny shoots are starting to come up, but this is what I want to show you. This is by a company called Hamama, H-A-M-A-M-A. This is a microgreen sprouting company. You can grow, this is the coolest thing. This is a pad, and as you can you see the seeds in there and how they're quilted into the individual compartments? So all I do, and the instructions are on their website, the Hamama website. So all I do is I take this out of the little container. Oh, look at this. This is a coconut pad that comes with it. So you just take it out of the envelope, put it in the water, and watch it grow. What's going to happen in about 4 days, this is only 2 days they've been in the water, in about 4 days, the seeds will start to sprout, and this top layer, it's like a wax paper if you would, it will just start, the sprouts will push it off. And it's like a miracle, it's like amazing. You just help it and peel that top layer off, keep it on, you don't have to keep it under the grow lights. It can be near a window, it can be just be in your kitchen on the counter, and they will grow. Once again, I have found that these grow lights are amazing and they make everything grow faster and hardier. So I just leave it here. If I see the water getting down really low because the seeds in that pad go down to get the water so they establish themselves, there's no dirt involved in this, no dirt whatsoever. You don't have to have this tray. Hamama does sell the ceramic trays. You can just use a glass Pyrex dish and you can put 2 to 4 of those pads in there. And I should show you what those, just turn the camera. Okay, so this is what the pad, the envelope looks like. It's a kind of a wax papery thing. And then all I do is I open it up and you can see what comes out is the seed packet. This tells me what it is, so in case I forget, I can, you can put it down there, but I don't. And then all I do is I fill any tray up, it doesn't matter, and you put it, so when this is in there, the water just comes up to the top edge of this coconut fiber piece, this brown piece. It's separate. See how this cotton is? Well, this cotton keeps it going down into the fiber, and the seeds grow into that. It's really cool the way they engineered this program. There is one little trick to these that I've learned that Hamama does not have on their website, and that is I fill up my dish, whatever it is, with water halfway. I turn it over and I leave it soaking in there for about 20 minutes. Then I turn it back over and now it's ready to grow. But I have learned I want to soak those seeds thoroughly for 20 minutes before flipping it back over to the right side. So I just put it in here like this, coconut side up. I push it down into the water and let it sit there for 20 minutes. I come back around, turn it back over, and it's just been sitting there for 2 days. If the water level gets low, so where it's not covering this brown coconut fiber, I just add some more water. You don't have to do anything except when that seed starts pushing this little tiny piece of kind of brownish colored wax paper off, you just help it by peeling it off and it will grow, and then you just cut and cut and cut and use whatever you want. You'll see they'll get about 2 inches, 1.5 inches to 2 inches. They can get up to 3 inches. No big deal. It was like the broccoli sprouts you just saw in my tray. The only difference between those broccoli sprouts and these is that those were grown in dirt, and these are just grown in water and this coconut fiber. So it's pretty cool. This is the beginning of sprouting and starting, and I'll even show you my tower garden also and how beautifully it grows. And I love having all my greens here, my broccoli, my celery, and all my herbs, my cilantro, my basil, my dill, everything is on this tower garden. And all I have to do with that, literally, is just keep putting water back in. And as the plants get bigger, they'll drink more and more water. But this is how we start. You can start out with a small tray of sprouts. You can start out with Hamama. Just start. It's so simple. My favorite of all are the sunflower sprouts. They are so delicious and fresh. So thanks for joining me. Stay healthy. So now what I want to show you is these lovely pads in the coconut fiber. You can actually cut them. So now this happens to be super salad mix seeds. This is from Hamama. There's no dirt involved. It's just that. So all you're going to do is just cut in between the seed quilting pad. So now I've got some wasabi mustard, I've got the super salad mix, and I have the daikon radish. So we'll put all 4 of those in a Pyrex glass dish, and we'll cover it with water. To begin with, we'll turn them upside down so the seeds get super soaked. We'll push these down into the water, let them sit for 20 minutes, then turn them back over in our glass Pyrex dish. That's all you need. You don't need special containers or anything. You already have it in your kitchen. And that's what I like about Hamama. If you don't want to do the dirt and have all the mix and you don't have a place to, I have wood, so all I do is I just turn these things upside down in the woods and I start over. But maybe this would be better for someone in a condominium who doesn't have that access to store the dirt to make the trays or whatever. So it's kind of a toss up what you want to do, but this is a great way to have microgreens in your house. I love the company, it works.